It's 8 o'clock and we're ready to rock. Okay. Let's watch for computer here, make sure I did everything mutes and do not disturbs and all this fun stuff. So, TikTok, here comes my screen. Okay, here comes a ad. Oh, crap. All right, let's try this again. Otherwise, with the freaking ads, I can't see the chat room. There we go. Okay, so let's get this readjusted. And I see Karen in Silicon Valley and Pennsylvania, Mama Bear and Krista and Lorna and 308 by 308. There you go, Jet. And a whole bunch of you guys can see me. All right. Happy Thanksgiving week Tuesday, guys. It is hopefully a lower key week for everybody. I'm hoping at least some of you have a little bit of time off this week before heading off to grandma's or grandma coming over, or the kids coming over or something. But it's one of those things too that you think about this, you go back a couple of generations. I mean, I can go back to my grandparents, and families all lived within a couple of miles of each other. I mean, on the same street. Going over to somebody's house for Thanksgiving was no big deal. You walk down the street. And now you look at it and you go, okay, where we used to be in the same town, now we're lucky if we're in the same country. Forget about the same state. You know. And so it makes the holidays a little difficult for people. I haven't spent Thanksgiving with my daughter in, oh God, probably 15 years. It's because she's in Indiana and I've been wherever I've been. Okay. And it makes it a little more difficult. So there are people that have a tear in their eye or whatever when the holidays run around because they can't be with family. Kind of remember those people too. Some people have been able to adjust. I remember a lot of you guys can probably relate to this too, especially if you've been married. You try to do Christmas Eve with the wife's family and Christmas Day with the husband's family, or Thanksgiving with one and Christmas with the other, or something, and it gets more and more difficult. And I can remember making trips back between Fort Wayne and Chicago. It's like we'd go, it's about 3.5 hour drive, and we'd spend Christmas Eve with my ex's family. Then Christmas Eve evening, we would drive to Chicago to spend Christmas Day with my folks, or vice versa, or however it went. And it was. There were times I fell asleep on the couch. It's like, oh, hi, you're here. What do you need to do? I need to sleep. I'm just exhausted. So remember those that are trying to enjoy the holidays, but maybe everybody in the household's not there. For us, it's be me and Mrs. P. Brett's coming over for Thanksgiving, so that'll be nice. There'll at least be 3 people here. So yes, I started my stuffing today, so my house smells like garlic and onions and bacon and celery and all the good stuff. So I start getting those smells through the house. Tomorrow will be pies and that sort of stuff. So fun. But yeah, so being Thanksgiving, okay, I'm going to give you this. You guys saw my lunchtime video today. Talked about the people struggling for food, okay. There's a story that came out this evening about low-income New Yorkers, okay. And I know a lot of people say, oh, who cares, they're New Yorkers, they're a bunch of lunatic liberals anyway, but they're still people, okay. And not everybody in New York is a flaming liberal. And New York, just like any other city, has its fair share of people on low income. Well, so those that are living in public housing, the city and the organizations in the city were passing out turkeys today, so people could have a Thanksgiving dinner that couldn't afford them. Okay, like I said the other day, fortunately I got lucky and Kroger had turkeys on sale for 49 cents. But, Butterball turkey was $2.19 a pound. You're on low income, you're not paying $30 or more for a turkey. So they had a turkey giveaway. Lo and behold, what happened? All the illegals were there first in line. I mean, the giveaway started at 11 o'clock. The illegals, having nothing else to do, were there at the crack of dawn and they were in line. So by the time the residents, the people, the citizens of New York actually got to the front of the line, there were no turkeys left. Okay. So again, here we get charity going to people. I'm not going to say don't deserve it, but the people who worked hard, paid into the system, somehow are, at least Americans, are getting the shaft for illegals again. Okay. There's another interesting part along the same topic about coming out of Chicago. You guys know Chicago has, the people of Chicago, as well as the people of New York, are fed up with all the illegals being brought in because, the uber liberal government, we've got to be a sanctuary city, and the people are going, screw this, what about us? Well, turns out the people in Chicago, the illegals, came out and blatantly said they're taking the money that they're being given by the U.S. government, our tax dollars, and sending it back to their home countries. Now I want to give you an idea of how much money this is that is being taken out of the U.S. economy. In 2019, Trump was president. Trump had put a whole bunch of restrictions on illegals sending money out of the country, on expatriating money from the United States. Trump put a whole bunch of restrictions. In 2019, 150 billion with a B dollars were taken out of the United States and shipped to foreign countries from individuals back to their families. In 2021, when Joe Biden came in, he rescinded all the restrictions that Trump put in. We've brought in somewhere to the tune of 5 million illegals under Biden's administration. How many billions of dollars, because we don't have this figure, do you think have been expatriated from the United States, taken out of our economy? Yet another thing that causes inflation. Okay? This is the problem we have. And the illegals are admitting, we're coming up here, we're taking the US dollars that are being given to us and we're sending it back to our family. Oh, and by the way, give me a free turkey because I don't have any money left to buy food after I sent it all back to Venezuela, Bolivia, Ecuador, Haiti, wherever. Yeah. This is what is really going on this week. Okay. We got people that are missing relatives, people that are wondering what's going to be on the dinner table Thursday or Friday or Saturday or Sunday or anytime next week or whatever. And we've got people here who have no right to be here, stealing our food and stealing our money and causing hardship for the rest of us. This, like I said this afternoon, is why we prep, because we've all talked about it. When food gets to the point where it's too expensive to buy at the store, and we're getting closer there every day. I told you guys the other day about beef prices expected to double next year from where we are now. Eventually, it's going to get to the point where people go, I can't afford to go to the grocery store. And that's when you walk into the basement or walk into that spare bedroom or whatever room you've got in the kitchen, and you look and you go, thank God I had the foresight to put all this stuff away. And come springtime, when you go out and plant and you go, thank God in a few months I'll be able to replenish what I ate over the winter. Kind of like the same thought that people had 100 or so years ago, because that was how they were able to eat. And that's where we're going. So, Yeah, there's the lovely excitement for this evening here. So, all right. Uh, on a housekeeping note, this is the last live stream before holiday time. So, in case you don't remember, I will give everybody just a rundown. This will start Saturday night. So, every live stream between Thanksgiving and Christmas, there's 9 of them, we are going to have a trivia question. And for those of you who were here last year, you remember them. It's something I've talked about in a video, relatively recent. Okay, I've mentioned all these things since Labor Day. Okay, not that. Okay, what do we had? That's what 3 months worth of 2 videos a day, 60 videos. Okay, somewhere thereabouts. Okay, and I've mentioned little things, and if you remember them, you may win a prize. This is what every time you see somebody donate something in the super chats, say for the Christmas fund or the Christmas party or whatever it is, that's what this is going to. Okay, so this is have a little bit of fun, put something under the tree for you guys. I guarantee you the prizes are not tiny. You will, if you were here last year, you kind of know what I did with them. So same topic this year, same line here this year. So it's fun stuff. Uh, there will be a rule. Okay, we didn't have a problem last year, but I will remind you: if you win, you're only allowed to win once. Okay, so if you win week 1, you can't win week 6 too. Okay? Once you've won one of the weeks, you're done. Totally different than if you won a generator or an e-bike or something like that. There's nobody excluded. It's just for the trivia contest where you can only win once. So, but that starts Saturday night. Inevitably, I will give you just a heads up. Pay attention on Friday morning to the videos this week, Black Friday. Okay, there's some interesting stuff planned. So let you guys know. All right, let us get into Q&A. Get started here before I talk forever. So just as a reminder to everybody, if you got questions for me, please put them in all caps, just like every other YouTube channel out there. Wholeheartedly encourage you guys to have conversations amongst yourselves. Only thing I ask, please keep that in lowercase letters. It just makes it faster for me to go through the questions directed at me. That way I can get to more of them. The only thing I do require is that everybody be polite to each other. Okay, no disagreements, fine, but don't be an ass. Okay, we're one moderator short tonight, so mods, you gotta keep up a little bit faster. Lucky Dame had some personal stuff to take care of today, so she may be watching, but she's not going to be working. So the rest of you guys are on your own. All right, so let's get into this. Let me get back to the top and see what we got. So bear with me. I gotta scroll a bit because you guys seem to be talkative tonight. Okay, let's see if I can get into something here. Jeez. Angry Wreck-It Ralph said I got a small ham for $22. That's just insane what it's costing there. East Tennessee Mike, thank you for the super chat. It says, hey, Pinball, long time no chat. Just wanted to say I still watch every video, even though I don't comment much. Thanks for all you do, and it's much appreciated. Well, hey, I get everybody's busy, and you do you, and we're good. Okay, just keep up taking care of the family, taking care of the household, getting the bills paid, putting food up, doing whatever, getting ready for what happens. We're good. Okay. Vesterdale and our camper smells of deer jerky. Must be. Around here, it was bow season this past weekend. So, or no, it was muzzleloader season. I'm sorry, bow season's still coming up, and we haven't got to rifle season yet. So that's what I'm waiting for. Let's see. Vicky Savage, the cheapest turkey available in this area was 98 cents at one of the Walmarts. The one I found out about the one I had to up to Middlesboro, Kentucky for it, but I found out about the Kroger sale, and it was a digital coupon on top of a store, your store card or whatever. Uh, and then the turkey was normally $1.89, and you got it for 49 cents a pound. I'm like, okay, turkey was normally 30, I think $29 or $30. I got it for just under 8. Like, yeah, I can do it. Like I said to Mrs. P as we were driving home, I said the part that sucks is it was limit 1. So, it's on your card so they know if you've already bought one. But yes, have your grocery cards, guys. Just don't fill out the form. Okay, that's the thing is like they hand you the form. It's like, would you like to fill it out now or take it home? Take it home with me. Throw it in the garbage. Because no, I don't want you tracking who I am. I want the discounts, but I don't want, granted, I don't get the coupons in the mail. That's fine. But I don't want you tracking what I buy. Patty K, thank you for the super chat. Says happy Thanksgiving. Appreciate that. Happy Thanksgiving to you as well. Susan Musser, tax remittances out of the country by 50%. Maybe that would slow it down. Oh, even then, I don't think that would slow this down because this is free money. You give somebody a $10 bill and say only $5 goes home, and they go, that's fine. I don't care. I didn't do anything for the $5 anyway. Okay. Now, if they're working and you go, okay, because damn well these guys picking strawberries and picking lettuce and stuff like that aren't getting paid but minimum wage at best, if not less. You go, okay, I'm giving you $5 an hour to pick strawberries. The government says, yeah, we're taking $2.50 of it. You go, I ain't sending it back at $2.50. It's like, oh, okay, fine. I worked all day today and I can send $20 back home. No. So, but I agree. There should be somehow, some way they've got to put an end to that. I don't have an answer. Because you can't even say something like, well, you have to be a U.S. citizen to send it out or something, because then you have too many foreign exchange students, H-1Bs, yada, 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 who are here legally, who may need to transfer money back and forth between home. Say a foreign exchange student from Great Britain's here, and mom needs to send them $100 for rent or something. Somehow things get different that way. So I don't have an answer. Let's see. Vicky Savage, if the money was made, then the work stayed here. Too much is being sent from us to others. Oh, I mean, think about it. We just talked about how much the people in New York can't even get a turkey. But how many billions of dollars did we send to Ukraine in cash, not in weapons or anything like that? Because we had to pay their pensions, we had to pay to keep the businesses open. We didn't have to do any of this stuff. Okay, our people can't eat, but damn, we can't fix our own roads, even though we had an infrastructure bill. But we've got no problem rebuilding all the roads in Ukraine. How's this work? I mean, we went from an America first to an America last policy. Or Americans last. That's the communist way. Leslie Yahoo, do you have a sun oven? Should I get one? Somebody asked this the other day. Go look on YouTube for videos. You can make one. There's no need to go out and spend $100, $300 or whatever for a sun oven. You can easily make one. I showed you guys how to make one very simply out of a parabolic dish, an old satellite dish, maybe about 9 months ago or something like that, for a sun stove, if you will, and showed you exactly how it worked. I mean, literally, it was put a piece of cardboard up and it was instantly on fire. I cooked eggs outside with the sun. So just give you that as an idea. But yeah, sun oven's a great idea, but you can make one. And if you want to go buy one, that's great. But still watch the videos on how to make one. So when that Chinese piece of junk doesn't work in 91 days, you can use the parts from it to make one that actually will last. Amy Arsenault says, happy Thanksgiving. Thank you. So does Jenny Christensen. Appreciate that from both of you. Sheila would love your stuffing recipe. Sounds amazing if you're starting this early. If you go back and watch in the playlists on the Cooking with Mrs. Pinball, I think it's Thanksgiving with Shay Pinball or something like that. But I go through how to make it in there. So did that a couple years ago. It's up. Let's see. Lauren, I'll take coal in my stocking better than green energy. There you go. If you push real hard, maybe you can turn it into a diamond. Yeah. Mama Bears is like the new pinball hat. This is, somebody sent this to me. I don't know if they were a company or whatever it was. They sent me a few different things. They wanted to be the exclusive provider of merch for me. And I'm like, I don't do it. Okay. I'm not interested in that. I just, all these channels that are buy my merch, really, you need a hat that's got a pinball flipper on it. What the freaking do? Okay. It's not like I'm going to be wearing this in any sort of SHTF event. This, on the other hand, can come in handy, but this, not so much, or certainly a coffee cup, Yeah, I know there's plenty of people that sell t-shirts and stuff like that, it's great. I'm not looking at trying to make money out of doing this. Okay. Kevin Little, hey Pinball, thank you for mentioning the Opus Help program. I'm on Social Security Disability and have a CPAP machine. I went through the application. They're sending me one. Cool. I've actually heard from probably about a dozen of you guys that you have been awarded a generator of one size or another from Opus. Opus is, a good generator, but a very charitable company. I mentioned this morning. They donated to our food drive $1,800, guys. Okay, so it's not like this is a company. $1,800. That's like them donating a big generator. Okay, and you guys know how many they've given away. So obviously they appreciate what we're doing here, and we all appreciate what they're providing for us. So, let's see. A Truck Campbell, what helmets and camo do I have for SHTF? Okay, so this is a interesting question. Okay, so for helmets, you can go get what I have are the Kevlar helmets. Okay, not the old steel pots like the Vietnam era had. The Kevlar helmets that I had when I was in. You can find those at Army surplus stores. I've got a couple of those. Okay. Now, the camouflage that you and your mag use, and I know this is going to sound different from what people talk about, but your mag needs to have some sort of uniformity to what you're going to wear, so you can distinguish your people and the enemy at a distance. If everybody just wears whatever they want, you're not going to be able to tell who the good guy and who the bad guy is from 1,000 yards. Okay. But if you have some sort of uniform, okay, you're going to be able to tell. Now, you asked specifically about camo, and this is where it gets a little interesting, because you can go buy your deer hunting camo, say mossy oak or something like they sell in Walmart. And if everybody's wearing that, okay. But remember, that is something that's relatively common. A lot of people have it. Then you have the Army or Air Force or whatever, depending on where you are. If you're, desert woodland or, woodland camouflage like we have here is not going to be useful in Arizona, and vice versa. Desert camouflage that they use there is not going to be useful out here. Okay, so you got to have that correct as well. But so then you get into like the ACUs, okay, the digital looking print that the military uses. That's pretty common. What we have is the old school, what I had when I was in the Army, the BDUs, okay, battle dress uniform is what it stood for. And that was the big patches of camo. Harder to find that. So not as many people are going to have it. Sure, some may, okay, but reduces my chances of having somebody at a distance infiltrate us or get too close. Because if they don't have BDUs on, they're the enemy, okay? Or they're not a friend, at least. So hopefully that answers your question. Uh, and now I gotta go because we shot to the bottom again. All right, here we go. Suen, are you going to be able to sell the hats, or was it a gift? I missed the first 5 minutes. No, this is a one of a kind thing. No, that was just something somebody sent me. Said, hey, we want to do something like this. I'm not going to throw it out. But I'm like, no, I'm not interested in doing merch. So, Acushnet, my birthday is Thursday, so I guess that makes me a turkey 75 years old. Well, happy birthday a couple of days early, and have an extra piece of pie. Put a candle in it. Let's see. Holy, okay. Prep Rebel. There we go. My 14-pound turkey was $65 in Southern California. My 15-pound turkey was just under 8. So, God. That's nuts to spend $65 on a freaking turkey. You know. Unbelievable. Okay. Charlie Knoll, did we get any rain today? Yes. Thank freaking God. Finally. Because, see, the worry that we got around here was the drought has been so bad, and now all the leaves have fallen. So now you have dry leaves and dry grass and dry trees. You know, fire hazard. There were forest fires here not far away from me here in the mountains. Okay. So we got rain. It started raining in the middle of the night last night, rained probably for about 12 hours. It was nothing significantly hard. I mean, we were probably getting anywhere between a tenth and a 20th of an inch an hour, but that was good enough to soak the ground and get everything wet, put a little water in a pond. But yes, we finally got some rain here. So that's like the first rain we've got in 4 months, guys. That's how dry it's been down south. Buzzard, finally some rain in Tennessee. Very happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to you. I know you're a few hours west of me, but yes, you got the rain just like we did. It was probably very comforting. But boy, I will tell you, when the rain stopped here around 4:30, did the fog roll in? I mean, it looked like an Edgar Allan Poe movie out here. It was, you couldn't see 10 feet in front of you. The fog was just like pea soup. You know, it's like London. Okay. Vicky Savage oxymoron, government efficiency. Yes. Military intelligence. Yeah. Goose Grouse, I'm grateful for you, Pinball. Thank you for everything you do. I'm just another guy. That's it. Okay. I just happen to be a face on your computer a couple of times a day. Ain't nothing special about me whatsoever. So we all work together. We do all this together. So yes, I'm grateful for each and every one of you as well. Let's see. Cheryl Holder got our house brand turkey, was $44. We got it for free since we spent over $400 since Halloween. Well, at least you got it for free. That's good, because I mean, a turkey, depending on how big of a turkey shouldn't cost you more than $20. I mean, half of it's bone anyway. You know, not that most of us don't know what to do with the bones. You know, whether you're making bone broth or me grinding it up and turning it into fertilizer. You know, it's, yeah, use every piece. You know, it's like people throwing out the livers, throwing out the heart, throwing out the neck, throwing out the gizzards. Nope. The livers and heart go into my stuffing recipe. The gizzards go to the dogs, and the dog, because Copper can't have it, so Daffy gets it. And the neck gets used for gravy. So yeah, there's nothing that goes to waste out of that. Let's see. GC, what do I think of the recent court actions on magazine capacity? It's stupid. Okay, I mean, it's just like all the California, oh, you can't have it. Criminals don't listen to laws. Okay. Do you think the gangs in Chicago were going, oh crap, you know what? We can't have magazines anymore. I mean, remember that this was a few months ago, you had the Glock switch where it's taking a 9mm Glock and literally turning into a fully automatic pistol. Okay. You can buy those on the internet. You know, they'll do whatever they can. I've said this 1,000 times. They can make all the laws they want. If they can't enforce them, what's the point? Okay. If the police won't enforce them, if the people don't agree, okay, just because a bunch of idiots in your state capital or the federal government decide that they're going to do something does not mean that the people are going to go, oh, okay. You know, it's like the whole thing about all these liberals screaming, we need gun control, we need gun confiscation, we need buybacks. How many people have you talked to who go, ain't ever happening, you know, out of my cold dead hands, okay? They can make all the laws, it's illegal to own an AR-15, come take it from me, okay? I mean, that's it. And I'll give it to you one piece at a time. They're about that big when they come out of the barrel, you know. I don't care what laws they make. They're not enforceable. The cops aren't going to enforce it, and the people aren't going to agree to it. And if they try to, if there's a couple of idiots who, you know, FBI agents or whatever, who have a death wish and decide that they're going to do something, okay, you know, just tell the wife you aren't going to be home for dinner and call the coroner and make an appointment. Again, they're going to pass laws that say, oh, you can't sell them. That's what the black market's for. Okay, it's worked many times before. You know, you don't think Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace or, you know, all these other websites aren't going to have them? Oh, but then somebody can't manufacture them. How difficult is it to I mean, think about the mechanics of a magazine here, guys. Not exactly highly engineered. Okay, you can make one on a 3D printer. 2 pieces of plastic, a spring in the middle, put it together, and guess what? Or 3 pieces of plastic, okay? And you're done. Not hard. Scrap metal racing. I'm still trying to get PayPal to cancel my account. Just got off the phone with the foreign morons. Yeah. Oh yeah. PayPal's like, well, it'll take us up to a year to cancel your account. Okay. It's just dumbfounding. Speaking of, I'm glad you mentioned something like that. In case anybody caught this came out about 6 o'clock tonight. I caught this just before we went on. You know that whole rule that if you got more than $600 via PayPal or Venmo or, you know, whatever electronic, and they were going to send you a 1099 and you had to pay taxes on it. They, you know, dropped it. Used to be $20,000 and they wanted to make it $600. You know what I'm talking about? The IRS postponed it for another year. So if you got PayPal payments or whatever it is this year for more than $600, don't worry. The IRS is not taxing you on it this year. Okay. That came out just a couple hours ago. Ildeco, yeah, don't give money to non-citizens. Well, here's the thing. Don't even let them in the country. That would be even easier. That's the problem. Joe said, come on in. We'll take care of you. And then said, you, take care of them. Aren't you going to do it, Joe? You invited them. Oh, no. I mean, that's like me inviting 20 people over to my house for Thanksgiving and telling my neighbor he's got to pay the bill. I mean, that's literally what Joe's doing. Hey, come on in. We'll just bring 5 million of them in there and they'll pay for you. No, you don't have that authority. But Jerome Powell said, yeah, I'll cash that check for you. No worries. Stephanie and Chris P., any comments on the FCC ruling? I've looked for, I haven't found enough detail on it to really know what happened yet. So, I mean, I saw that they are talking about the disparity again with the poor, you know, getting internet and everything like that. But I can't find any specifics on what they actually have approved. So I'm still trying to. If you find anything that's got a good synopsis of it, please send it to me. Because God knows it ain't on the FCC website. Country Humans Network. How long do you cook a turkey in the oven? How long do you thaw it? And how long to cook a 14-pound turkey? Okay. It's gonna if if you haven't taken your turkey out, okay, and thawed it, you need to literally put it on the counter at this point. I bought ours on Friday. It's frozen, obviously. Put it in the refrigerator. Today's Tuesday, and it's just been in the fridge, and it still had ice in the center of it. Okay. So tomorrow I will be taking it out and getting it on the counter to let it completely defrost the rest of the way. So there you go there. Now, cooking a turkey, it depends on whether it's stuffed or not. Okay. I always stuff my turkey, and rule of thumb is 20 minutes per pound of turkey. So if you've got a 14-pound turkey, you're talking about 4 hours and 40 minutes. So at 350. So, but yeah, that 20 minutes per pound. Let's see. Jacqueline Presnell, what do I think of Mike Johnson? I was hopeful at first. I'm still hopeful. I mean, you got to understand, it's not like the speaker's gavel is some magic wand, okay? I did not like what he pulled with the continuing resolution and kicking the can down the road on the budget so they could all go off on vacation. And now we're still operating here a year into Republican control of the House, and we are still working with Nancy Pelosi's spending. Okay, that pisses me off. That's one of the big reasons why I wanted Kevin McCarthy out. I do appreciate the fact that he did what everybody said they were going to do, and nobody else did, and he started releasing the J6 tapes. Okay, now that the tapes are starting to come out, now that the people are going to see it, hopefully now you're going to get more people go, have you been lying to me for 3 years? Because I don't see any violence here. You know, what are these people in jail for again? Because I don't see any violence here. You know, so now the evidence is coming out. You know, whether or not they start bringing the J6 committee under investigation. I know there's been talk on it, but you know, again, oh gee, Liz Cheney's not in Congress anymore. Adam Kinzinger's not in Congress anymore. You know, the handpicked, I can't even call them rhinos. I mean, they're Rhines. I don't know. You know, the hell with being a Republican, you know, fake Republican as a Democrat, whatever that is. You know. All right. D Freak. Service members have to pay for the equipment left behind in it. What? What do you mean that? I mean, because we left what, $80 billion worth of stuff. What are they going to do? Start withholding money out of their paychecks for, you know, the tank or the helicopter we left back there? That better not happen. You know. Prayerful EA, I just paid $2.59.9 for gas, so thankful, but why is it suddenly cheaper? That's a great question. I do not know. It makes no freaking sense to me with everything that's going on in the Middle East right now, why gas prices are coming down. And the fact that the Strategic Petroleum Reserve is down to 10%. Okay. So there's some backroom deal somewhere that again, have you heard anything? I mean, we haven't even heard gloating from the administration on the fact that gas prices are down. So, because as soon as they start talking about, people are going to come up and say, why are the gas prices down? And we don't know. So there's something going on. I mean, who knows? Maybe Joe's got a secret deal with Putin, his best buddy. You know, maybe Hillary got involved. You know, Russia, you know, collusion, the stuff that Hillary was doing. You know, hey, come on, Joe's taking marching orders from somebody. He ain't thinking himself, that's for sure. So, who knows? I mean, could it be the whole deal that he cut with Venezuela? That's a possibility, too. So, you know, let's sell ourselves out to another communist country. That's Joe's mantra. Kim Edmondson, I bought 3 12-pound turkeys at Walmart, 98 cents a pound, plus I already had one in the freezer. Any meat below $1 a pound is a blessing. Absolutely. So I said, I mean, I wish I could have bought more turkeys. because, hey, I'll cook it. I don't care if it's April. I'll cook a turkey. It's still meat. It's still poultry. It's still good for you. So, uh, Jeffrey S. Pinball, does Mrs. P make holiday cookies, and which ones, if so? No, pretty much the holiday cooking is me. Okay, so like Thanksgiving, you gotta remember again the little differences in her heritage, her how she grew up and how we grew up. So obviously there's no Thanksgiving in Russia, so no turkey and stuffing there. So that one's on me. Okay, so I do all the cooking for this. Then the Christmas in Russia, remember, is on January 7th, not December 25th. Okay, so December 25th in Russia is just another day. Now, for gift giving in Russia, that's on New Year's. So, and then Christmas is a religious holiday. That's basically everybody goes to church for the day. That's it. So, how things are celebrated is different. So Christmas here, again, on Christmas Eve, I do the cooking. On Christmas Day, I do the cooking. On New Year's, she does everything, and we do all the traditional Russian New Year's meals. Okay, but for Thanksgiving, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, we do the Americanized version of Christmas, I guess, if you will. I mean, granted, Christmas Eve for us is primarily the Polish and Czech heritage that I've got from what we have, but it's you learn this with different cultures. It's like, how do they celebrate things? So, ask anybody, a mixed religious couple. Let's say somebody's Christian and somebody's Jewish. Okay, celebrate Hanukkah, celebrate Christmas. Does maybe one converted, maybe not, but I mean, let's look at Trump, for example. Okay, Jared Kushner's Jewish, Ivanka converted to Judaism, Donald Trump's still a Christian. Okay, they celebrate Hanukkah, they celebrate Christmas. My bet, they celebrate both. Okay, so, but no, the only Christmas cookies that are made around here is I make kolechki for Christmas, and there's a video on how to make those too if you want to go look. So. My secondhand life. This is Mountaintop Preps. How many times have I answered this question? How did you come up with the name Pinball? Was I a pinball wizard? No, I came up with the name Pinball. I didn't even come up with it. It was given to me. This is back in the 1980s when I was in the Army. We were at a National Training Center. We were out in a month-long field exercise. I was driving a 113, which is an armored personnel carrier. Okay, you guys have seen it. It's like a box with the slanted nose on it. Okay, that's what a 113 is. And we're bouncing through the desert and everything like that. And the tank commander told me, he goes, "Will you slow down? You're bouncing us around here like a pinball." And for the rest of the training, for the rest of that month, he called me Pinball. That's where it came from. Okay. Let's see. Faye Cable, have I heard anything about Tennessee deer having chronic wasting disease? No, I have not. But we'll see how this goes. You're I'm gonna be careful of what I say here because the powers that be are overlords here. If I say too much about disagreeing with something, it's just let's put it this way, I haven't heard anything about it at all. So yeah. And I don't have a whole lot of faith in some of the things they say. LJT Mac, how do I fly since I'm afraid of heights? I don't mind being enclosed in a plane. That doesn't bother me. Okay. I don't mind being enclosed in a building. Okay. I'm not going to go up to the railing of the Sears Tower and go, let's look out over the edge. That ain't me. Okay. But I mean, I'll go up to the top of the Empire State Building. I just won't put my nose against the window. That's all. Let's see. David Galifaro, did I see the new EcoFlow Ultra? Yes, I have. Uh, Obviously, they send me the specs, and I guess this thing's supposed to come out in January or something like that. It's the new upgraded type model of the Delta Pro. It's the Delta Pro Ultra or whatever, and it's different. Instead of being vertical like the ones I've got, they're horizontal, they're stackable, everything. Uh, no, I'm not going to change out my system. You know, I was like, oh, here's the new one. I'll just piss away $17,000 and go buy a new one. That works fine. So, but yeah, I haven't seen it in person. I've seen the promos on it. That's it. So who knows? They may wind up sending me one to review. I don't know. So we'll see. Rick Mavic time. Food freeze dryers. I know they're time consuming. I imagine it's $20. Imagine a $20 piece of steak ends up costing a long run $80. I could be far off. Uh, I'm not. I can't say much about freeze dryers. Okay. I don't have one. I've never used one. I have no intention of buying one. Okay. I can't justify the $3,500, $4,000 that it would cost for me and Mrs. P to have one. I can see where it would be useful if you had a large group of people. But for the two of us, not that useful. Okay, definitely not cost effective. But I'm not, I'm not going to be the one to be able to answer any questions on a freeze dryer just because I don't have one. I've never used one. Mama Bear, I sent for two of those patches from you, waiting for them to get here. Everything that I've got in the mail that's requested patches has been sent out. The last ones I got went out yesterday. There were some that went out in Thursday's mail, some that went out in Friday's mail. I'm sorry, no, not, I'm sorry, what days are they? Went out Saturday's mail and yesterday's mail. I'm thinking it's Saturday for some goofy reason. So they went out Saturday, went out yesterday were the most recent ones. I have none sitting on the table waiting to go to the post office. The last ones were dropped off yesterday. Let's see. And we shoot to the bottom again. Okay. Ha! Von Mousetrap, maybe gas prices are down because we're all driving overpriced golf carts. Nope. Yeah. Uh, SH says winter grade changes. That could be, but that's not going to drop. I mean, we're at 319 now. We're at 289. So there's 30 cents. You're talking 259. I haven't been out in a couple of days, so I can't tell you what gas has been around here. It may be lower, uh, but there's somehow, some way we changed our supplier. That I can pretty much guarantee. GC, no worries, it'll go back up on Friday. Sure. Kathleen Maddox, how long do I brine a 15-pound turkey? I don't brine my turkey. So, uh, everybody does their turkeys differently. Mine does not get brined at all. So, it'll go in the oven, it gets baked, it's basted, butter and stuffed and everything like that, but I don't brine it at all. S. Withers, how long is a frozen turkey good for? Was it last year? At least a couple of years. Last year I think it was either last year or year before, we had a 2-year-old turkey. It was fine, no big deal. Just been in the freezer. It was, I think, it was last year I think it was. Yeah, it was last year we ate it. When she graduated. No, it was 2 years ago. Because my daughter had won a turkey for Thanksgiving from her workplace, but she wasn't going to cook a turkey for Thanksgiving all by herself. So she brought it to me at Christmas, and we already had the turkey for Christmas. So I just threw it in the freezer, and I already had another turkey in the freezer. So that one sat in there for 2 years. When we ate it, it was fine. Ronald Simmons, a tree limb just fell across my house. That is not a good thing. You need to be taking care of that and not watching this. Ildiko, what are some traditional New Year's meals in Russia would be? Olivier salad is pretty much the big one. Uh, but then you're talking about the smoked fish, you're talking about caviar, uh, yeah, which that does. Mrs. B may get a teeny tiny little bit of black caviar, not the red stuff. That's or no red caviar, not the whichever one's the cheaper one. We can't afford the expensive one. She gets a little tiny bit. I don't like caviar; too fishy for me. But she gets a little bit of that. Uh, but then the pastries or whatever that she makes. She cooks all this sort of stuff, and don't ask me to try to pronounce some of it. So, but if you want to look at what the base is, go look up Olivier salad. That's the crux of the meal. Cassandra S. What kind of jam am I using in the cookies this year? I haven't looked yet. It's still, I mean, we're not even at Thanksgiving, so I haven't got to Christmas yet. But we did what I did the one last year was the pepper jelly. I think one of you guys had sent me some jalapeno jelly or something like that. That actually, I tried a few of them. It actually came out really good for cookies. It was, it was sweet and spicy in a cookie. I was like, I like this one. So, but then again, I'm half insane. Sherry Wiggins, they're making servicemen pay for personal gear they had to leave behind. I can see that's going to be, Congress is going to, I'd be on the phone with my representative real fast going, this is bullshit. I'm lucky to get out alive because how they screwed this up. And now you're going to tell me because I left a canteen back there, you want me to pay $10? No. Let me see you guys pay back the $80 billion to the taxpayers for your screw up, and then we'll worry about the $50 that I owe you for any of my LBE equipment. Reagan Dog, enjoy your holidays. The fun begins around Christmas with a big present from Joe and the WEF. What do you know that we don't? Yeah. My guess, the one thing that I have a feeling, this is an assumption, we are going to see massive layoffs the week after Christmas. Okay, or right after the New Year, because companies don't want to be the bad guy laying somebody off right before Christmas so little Susie can't have a Christmas. But the 1st of January, they're going to go, you know what? We're cutting 30% of our headcount. And you're going, okay, now I got all these credit card bills to pay for Christmas. But companies don't care about that. So that's what I'm expecting. We'll see what happens. That one makes no sense to me. Teresa Ellis, hubby was at NTC at Irwin in 80 and 84, desert training, same time. Now he would have been there before me because I was stationed out there. When did we go? 80. I think we went in 80. It was either 86 or 87, and then 88 we went to Reforger. So, okay. Last Reforger there was. Mama Bear, when I sent out last batch of patches, I just talked about that. Mama Bear again, amen on that. Make them pay back their billions first. Exactly. Don't. I'm sorry. It's not the little PFC's fault that you effed up the evacuation so bad that he couldn't go back and pick up whatever, a radio. Pantry Mama, we like home canned turkey. Do you guys can any turkeys? No, I've never canned turkey. It's not basically because we don't, unless it's this time of year. Usually turkey's like crazy expensive. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to pay what they want for, when they're wanting $2.50 a pound for a turkey or something like that. There's only 2 of us. I get what you're saying about canning it for sure, but I can chicken a lot easier. How did I wind up at the bottom? Did we shoot past something? No. Oh yeah, I guess we must have missed a whole bunch of it. I didn't see it here. Hang on. Okay, yeah, we had skip. Okay, that was that part. Let's see. Vester says gas was $2.99 in Southwest Virginia. Ken Harrison says down $2.75 in North Texas. So it's nice to see it below $3. And then of course Amy says gas is $3.50. As soon as I say it's nice to see it below $3. Yeah, so there you go, $3.50 in Massachusetts. So Michelle Hughes, I have seeds saved from 2020. Should I give them a try next season? Absolutely. What do you have to lose? Okay. I mean, your germination rate's probably not going to be as good. Okay. Instead of, I don't know, let's just say it's cucumbers that normally have an 80% germination. Maybe you only get 60% germination. Fine. You're going to know in a week. Okay. I planted 12 things, 9 of them came up. All right. So I got 3 other cups. Let's put another seed in each one of them. It's not like, oh my God, I missed the window. I have to have it done in 3 days. It's not like that. Okay. Plant them. If they don't work, replant them. Put some more seeds in. Or do it this way. You want to have 12 plants? Plant 20 seed, 20 cups of cucumbers. If 12 come up, you got all you need. If 20 come up, you got 8 to give to your neighbor, sell, do whatever. Like I said last year, go out, put a little roadside garden stand out there and, make yourself $100. But yeah, absolutely. If you're going to, if you got them, plant them. Okay. It's the seed companies that tell you, oh, they're only good for a year. Why? Because they want to sell you more seeds next year. Okay. You don't need to. I mean, like I said, you saw those white beans that I have, and Mrs. P was like, well, we didn't get a whole lot of white beans. I said, we got plenty of white beans. She goes, well, it's not going to be enough for a meal. I said, I didn't grow them for a meal. I said, I bought 1 pack of seeds. I grew them so I could grow my own seeds. So now I've got a quart of seeds so I can plant a boatload of beans. That was it. I'm not going to go out and spend $5 a bag for, bean seeds, when I want to plant 150 square feet of them. I'll use 1 year to grow my seeds, and next year I got plenty of seed. So, BD, how's my back doing? I'm probably at about 90%. So I'm in better shape. Again, standing over the kitchen counter cutting stuff up today, that was a little sore. So I make sure to back away from it. That's from my height. I prefer if the counters were another 6 inches higher, but that's not realistic. So, Flint McRock, a lady in our area started a new small business, a candy store selling freeze-dried candies. She gave me a small bag of freeze-dried Skittles. They're addictive. I'm trying to remember who. I think it was Kim. I'm not sure. One of our friends, girl I was in the Army with, is a prepper, obviously, and big on freeze drying. And I think she had sent Brett some freeze dried Skittles that I think that's where we got, and then he gave me, and yeah, we tried those and everything. But yeah, just interesting. Mama Bear, anyone needs to know about freeze dryers? Miss Libby, Danny, and Wanda do a lot on freeze dryers. Yeah, I know Danny and Wanda have talked that I've seen some of their videos on it. So Deep South Homestead, if you guys want to go look there. Sheila, what do I think of the lithium mine in Tennessee? I was reading about it today. Guess one in North Carolina too. Again, so lithium batteries are lithium iron phosphate batteries are good. Okay, we want to use that technology. There's no question. We just don't want to go, okay, we're going to completely change everything in 5 years and everything's going to, we're not there. Okay. It's like, people will ask me, it's like, how do you bitch about solar so much and then tell us at the same time, about solar generators? It's like, okay, you got to understand the concept. Solar generators on an individual basis work fine. Solar generators for an entire country the size of the United States is idiotic. Portugal came out today. One of you guys sent me an article on this. Portugal came out and said, look at us. We ran the entire country on renewable energy for 6 days. It's a new record. And I'm going, yippee, 6 days. What are you doing on day 7? Okay. I can run my house for 4 days without any charging, so not a big accomplishment there. Don't care. And then like, all right, let's think about this. Portugal landmass is about the size of Oregon. Population, it's about the size of Michigan. Okay. Yeah, I looked that stuff up. So we'd have to be, I don't know, 50 times as much. It's Portugal. Okay. When's the last time that anybody, you know what, that economic superpower, Portugal. Okay, no. So, all right, that is the end of that. Yes, lithium, keep digging it up. Just we ain't going all electrical cars. Guys, have a good evening. Enjoy starting to cook tomorrow. So I'll be too. We'll see you in the morning. Pinball out.